Today we're going to do Tuscan Mini Porchetta. This is a version that I've made for home, and I've actually switched out the shoulder of pork for pork belly. And we're going to start with the pepper and all the other dry bits. So a lot of pepper, we're going to put a bunch of salt in there, and we're going to start grinding. So I'm going to get the fennel in there and just a pinch of chili. So when I've got all those dry ingredients really nicely ground up, I'm going to throw in some garlic. I've got 3 of these massive cloves. I'm just going to get in there and pound it. We're then going to stick a bit of lemon peel in. I'm going to pop that in and pound it. So when I've got all the lemon and garlic really pounded in, I'm then going to go in with the herbs. I want quite a lot of sage. I'm going to put a bit of rosemary. And then we just carry on pounding. Really give it a good whack. And if it gets a bit dry, just add a little bit of oil until you've got this into a really nice fine paste. Right, so when I get to that stage, I just want to add a bit of oil, and that's looking really good now. We're just gonna get that out, and this you take down to the butcher with you. Here's the wet rub or the seasoning for your mini porchetta. When you come back from the butcher, it's gonna look like this. So what we've done is we've taken a whole belly and had him basically just kind of seam into the meat, put the seasoning all the way on the inside of that seam and then inside of the meat, and then tie it up really, really tight, really as tight as you can. And you want about 300 grams per person, uncooked weight, and it will shrink down as the fat comes out as it cooks. When you put it in the oven, you put it in a really, really high heat. A hot tip here is to make sure that when you come back from the butcher, you completely uncover it and leave it uncovered. And when you put it in the oven, put it in the oven at room temperature. And one last tip, take a lot of sea salt and just rub it deeply into that before you leave it to rest. And then a couple of hours before you cook it, make sure it's out of the fridge, up to room temperature, and into the hottest oven that you can produce. And put it in there for about 10 minutes. And you should see that the skin starts to bubble up. And when you see a nice uniform bubble across, that's the time to take it out. So it might take 10 minutes, it might take 15, 18, 20 minutes. Just keep checking it, because you want to pull it out just as all the skin started to bubble, but before anything starts burning. Now I use a probe, and I leave it in there, and what you'll find, after a good 6 to 8 hours of cooking, at a much, much lower temperature of about 110 degrees, it'll end up looking like this. You can see it's shrunk in size, that's the fat coming out. You can see all these beautiful bubbles, and that's nice hard crackling there. And then you can basically just slice straight through. Inside the meat there is all the beautiful seasoning. This is cold now, obviously, but you would normally serve that warm. The other option is, of course, if you take all that crackling off, you can then slice it and use it as sandwich meat, and it's very, very common to eat porchetta cold. And there we have it, Tuscan pork belly mini porchetta, a dinner party favourite and a great cold cut. Delicious.